Hey, and welcome back. I am thankful that it's a Frankful Friday. For the last couple of weeks, we were Frankless. Now we are Frankful, which is wonderful. We're coming to you live as we do every day, noon to 2 Eastern, from the NEWSMAX studios here in downtown Manhattan. We are well fortified on this Frankful Friday with Question Tequila, one of our great sponsors and friends of the show. And when we're downtown, I like to check in, especially on Fridays, right down the street, maybe like a 9 iron for me. The New York Stock Exchange, we're up about 400 points today, 390 as we speak. The markets are looking good. There's a little more certainty maybe coming into focus with Donald Trump and some positivity coming out of these China trade talks. And crypto is down a little bit, which has been happening. Bitcoin seems to be acting contrary to the market. When the market's up, Bitcoin's down a little. Bitcoin's up, the market's down. I think we're in a great position with both Bitcoin and the New York Stock Exchange. As I have mentioned to you on Liquid Lunch many times, do not take anything I say on this show as a solicitation, as financial advice. Keep in mind that you should invest and make sure it's suitable for you. Educate yourself, make yourself aware, invest in things that you understand, and you'll be in good shape. If you want to invest in cryptocurrency, expect to lose every penny and you'll set your expectations very low. But when the market's up and things are going well, you got to bring in the money guests. And Billy Marco, great friend of the show, great friend of both Frank and I. He's the founder of Marco Wealth Strategies.
That's
and
correct.
Just let me say this for all his compliance people and everything. Any securities offered through Marco Wealth are offered through First Allied Incorporated. And they are a registered FINRA broker-dealer. But we are not telling you to buy or sell or do anything today. We're calling in Billy to talk to our audience about the market's been volatile lately, Bill. And a lot of our audience, they're focused on healthcare because they're, over 50, a good majority of them.
Right.
And they're focused on their future, their nest egg. How do I position myself to live longer and still have, a good little nest egg there? You're the best at this stuff. What should our audience know?
Well, I think first of all, thank you for giving me the opportunity to be on here. This is terrific.
You guys are a legend.
About the 9 iron, I probably hit it with a 9 iron. It'd be about 100 yards to the right.
It's definitely it's not a 9. I could hit 2 drivers. I couldn't reach the New York Stock Exchange from here, but we're close.
You raise a great question. There's 10,000 baby boomers turning 65 every day in this country, and I think we all share. They all share the same concerns, right? Not outliving their money, leaving money for their next generation, understanding how to handle their health care and all of that. And I think the first thing you need to do is you need to work with a wealth manager, a comprehensive wealth manager that is looking at all of that. One of the things that I think that folks fail to do is they focus so much on the investment and maybe the noise that's going by tweet, right? We're trading by tweet. Last week, the market's down. This week it's up. Very difficult to do. So you do need to buy quality. You do need to have the right counsel. And you need to also understand the tax code. Because part, and maybe the largest part of what will keep your net worth in order or keep your cash flow in order is how much of what you have you will keep. And I think further on, how does that transfer to your loved ones at that time when maybe you pass on? So taxes are very important.
2 big questions. One is, and I guess it relates to the other one, but you say make sure you seek counsel from somebody that actually knows what they're doing. How do you know that you're choosing a qualified wealth strategist? Let's say they don't choose you. Other than you, how do you know that the person you pick is a good person?
Let's just say this.
Guide you.
We are not here. Bill's not paid to come on.
Right. Exactly.
He's not paid. He hasn't paid us to come on. This is a guy that Frank and I both know
he's an expert
and respect,
in the field.
and he's an expert. And he's not here to solicit your business.
Right.
He's here to educate our audience.
If for baby boomers that are wondering,
it's an excellent question, and I think at times it prevents people from seeking that counsel because it's like, who do I go to, right? They almost seem like they'll go take their maybe their health care to a doctor that's just locally, but when it comes to financial planning, they're like, I really don't know anyone, or maybe I know the wrong person. So I think a couple of things you want to do. FINRA, who is the regulatory body, does have a website called Broker Check, and if you put the representative's name in there, we'll come up with their reputation in terms of any violations.
I've been trying to not tell the audience about that, but
I am proud to say about 30
right.
years in the business, thank God, my record is fairly clean, and many of my colleagues and the people that I know in this profession that do what I do are good quality people. But I think taking it one step further is they should be working comprehensively. It shouldn't be about investments or investment returns. It should be looking at every aspect, the titling of your assets, the beneficiary listing on your assets, the estate planning and making sure you have legal work, working with the other centers of influence, attorneys, accountants, and everyone, and making sure all of that's taken care of.
The other question that I get asked most often from baby boomers, I don't know why I get asked all these questions, but that,
well, you're a baby boomer.
No, you know what it is?
He looks young,
I
but
come
the
on
guy's
TV,
like 70.
No, I come on TV and look like I have answers to a lot of questions, so people just throw all sorts of stuff that I don't know about. Medical questions, financial questions, sports questions.
You become the center of
I don't know any of these things, but
agree.
here's my question. How do people know whether they should take their Social Security early or wait a little later in the hopes of getting a full payout?
I'm so glad you asked that question because we do planning in that respect. We do Social Security optimization. And there's another number of factors that go into that. But I would encourage anyone, if they take anything away today, there's probably two things we like to leave them with. But Social Security, from the time of your full retirement age, in most cases, it's about age 66 and change, to the full time you have to take your Social Security, age 70, grows by 8% a year, guaranteed by the U.S. government, right? Can't get better than that. We're good wealth advisors, but I could never stand there and say, I'm going to guarantee you an 8% return. U.S. government can do it.
Compound those 3 years,
Compound,
you're probably well over
and
30%.
if you get CPI on top of that, you can get quite a bit of money. Plus,
That's right.
if you happen to pass away and your spouse inherits that money, they step up to your higher amount if, in fact, your higher amount is. So that higher amount is higher than your spouse's. So it's very important to look at all of that. Of course, you got to take your health in consideration and how long, the longevity of your family has been, because that's part of it. But there are factors to make that happen. It's not an exact science, but we certainly do look at that, and it should be looked at. If you're not having that taken care of, you could be shortchanging yourself.
Well, this has been a lot of fun. You got to come back.
I'd love to come back.
Thank you so much for joining us.
Thanks again.
Before we go from this segment, just on a personal note, Bill's one of our most ardent supporters for a long time. He follows Liquid Lunch on YouTube and Facebook, like you should be. And he always gives me very sage, behind-the-scenes feedback, which we need, and we need it from you. If you see something you like, tell me. If you see something you don't like, tell us. And you're our customer, because our viewer is what we need to keep Liquid Lunch going. And this is not a solicitation. We are not offering any securities. If we were, they'd be offered under prospectus. Any reproduction or broadcast of this telecast without the express written consent of Major League Baseball strictly prohibited. Quick break, back at you right after this with Yaz is back with the Sephoria energy drinks, and we are going to get freaky on Friday. Quick break, back right after this.